Hey everyone, Matt Gunn here, RCGroups.com. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to another video review. And sitting here on the table in front of me is a 350 size quad with a laundry list of functionality. This is the NovaX 350 from RCLogger. Now anyone that's been around multi-rotors knows the RCLogger name. They're responsible for introducing a trifecta of quadcopters called the RCI series. And the smallest quad in that list is the RCI-1. It weighs in at about 100 grams, and it's a great little indoor platform for learning how to fly or just having fun. And the mid-size quad in that series is a much more agile and a larger machine called the RCI-1 Extreme. And finally, we have here what's sitting on the table, the flagship NovaX 350. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what's included with the 350, about its functionality on the bench here, but what I really want to do is actually get out and fly the NovaX for you. I got a chance earlier in the year to pilot this machine, and I really fell in love with it for a number of reasons. And look, I'll be honest, there's a ton of ready-to-fly quads out there, so standing out in a sea of multi-rotors trying to stand out can be a difficult task for any manufacturer. But the NovaX just hit that sweet spot with me as a pilot. It does a number of things, and it does them all pretty well. So first and foremost, it's a good aerial photography and video platform with a GoPro. Has a great GPS and barometric hold. There's many other ARFs out there that do that too, but you know, this brings me to what makes the NovaX really shine in my opinion, and that it's one of those rare quads that can perform double duty as a cinematic and a good yank and bank FPV machine. The NovaX 350, it's fast, it's agile in sport mode, it can carry the weight of the GoPro, a VTX, and an FPV camera effortlessly. And with flight times around 15 to 20 minutes, you know you have a good time to explore with this machine. So before we go and fly some FPV with the RCLogger NovaX, I just want to show you this setup that I've put together. Now I'm using the hard mount here that's included with for the GoPro, and I've taken this ready-made RC camera here and just sort of looped it in on the bottom. It fits perfectly. It's almost too perfect how well this little setup works. And then on the back here, we have a ready-made RC Cricket 600 VTX and then an IB Crazy race antenna with the Ballon built in. Now this camera is a 600XVN, and the N stands for night. We're not actually using it in night for the video, but it's a great 600 TVL NTSC camera from Ready Made RC. And as you can see, I have the toroid filter on the back here. I'm big into the filters. They definitely help clean signal up and increase range and such like that if you're using filters. And speaking of, we have a Ready Made RC power filter here that's taken the 11.1 volts from the battery on the board and then directing it down into the Cricket, and then the Cricket is pushing out 12 volts to the camera here. Oh, excuse me, 5 volts to the camera here. Now all of these are capable of 2S, 3S, and 4S power, so we're just using a 3S. So let's go ahead and fly, but before we do that, I'll show you that we're using an X-Air squared antenna here. We're also using the Immersion Duo receiver and another IB Crazy whip. Now this setup is good for great distance, great penetration. It really makes the NovaX a great exploration machine, and I want to show you guys some flying with it. So let's go head out to the field and we'll do some flying. All right, here we go.
Interesting, right, man? Very nice.
There we go.
Good job. You did it.
And it's in one piece.
All right, we have our FPV flight out of the way with the fixed GoPro mount. And now let's move on to the optional X3 Mini Gimbal from RCLogger. Now this is your standard 3-axis gimbal. It fits a GoPro or similarly sized action camera. And it's plug and play right out of the box. I've got it hooked up now and you can see it stabilizes extremely well. It uses the ball dampers here. You have different hardness ball dampers that you can use to fine tune it so it doesn't shake in flight. But it does pretty darn well right out the box. Now on the back here, it plugs right into the balance lead on your RCLogger 3S 5200 battery. And then you also have the ability to plug it into the flight controller and adjust some of the parameters in flight, such as tilt or follow me, or not really follow me, I apologize. You can either have it fixed straight forward or you can have it to where it dampens the yaw, like so. It is adjustable in flight, and you also have software from RCLogger to adjust some of the parameters. But right out the box it works. It doesn't weigh much at all, and it's just a great unit. So let's go ahead and do a flight. Now it's snowing outside, but I'm going to take it out anyway and do a flight with the X3 Mini Gimbal from RCLogger on the NovaX. Alright, that concludes our video with the NovaX 350 and the X3 Mini Gimbal by RCLogger. And a few things I wanted to bring to your attention. Yes, you can see the landing gear, and that can be rectified by purchasing the optional retract landing gear for the NovaX, or you can use a narrower field of view on your GoPro. Also, you can shoot in 1080p and resize it in post-production down to 720 if you want to get some of the prop out of there. But it's easy to fix, to remove the landing gear and the props. So that's my review of the NovaX 350 with the X3 Mini Gimbal and with the fixed GoPro gimbal in FPV mode. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's a very robust machine. It can pull double duty as a FPV yank and bank and exploration machine, and does some pretty good cinematic shots as well with the X3 Mini right out of the box. Now you can do some tuning to reduce some of the roll rate and stuff like that of the gimbal, but I think it's pretty good right out the box. So thanks for watching my review here on RC Groups, and we'll see you soon.